Hi guys, my name is Means. This is going to be a review for the robot Neo Entrepreneur Polynian series, and we have Rucio. Now this is one of the male figures for this particular line, and I've been asked constantly, is there an anime, is there any kind of media relating to this? And to answer that, none that I know of. This is just basically a concept that they had, and they want to make figures out of it. This is made by Buddy. Right there. I got mine from Amiami. There's probably other places that you can get this from, but I pre-ordered mine from Amiami. It's a really cool concept. It reminds me of Rucio, you know, that Disney robot. Yeah, but definitely really cool. And I think from what I can gather online before, it was a resin kit before. Now they made a figure of it, which is great. And this actually goes kind of goes with the male. This is the other female one with blonde hair, and he kind of has the water gun and a swimsuit. So this is the male counterpart for that. Although they've added a new thing on this one, and I guess they've been listening to their fans that they prefer to have a female as opposed to male. So on this one, and we'll see it, that there is an extra part. I'm not sure if you can even see it here, but on the back there's another lower torso, and you can swap it out, which is really cool. Yep, and I think this is it. Basically, it becomes a two-piece like this, a two-piece suit. I think that's how we call that. But yeah, quite nice, and it's cool that they've given us that option to convert it. And that's probably another controversy. You know, why would you change something to this and that? Well, we have a choice. Now you can do that. Anyways, that's it for the little quick check on the art box, which is nice. I really like their art boxes. Let's take a look inside. Alright, here we go. As always, you're gonna get your Polynian stand here. It comes a basic. Now some of them have I think blue. This one is clear. Maybe in the future they'll try to swap out with different clear colors. Now let's take a look at the design here. Quite nice. And again, this is something to do with like the water, the theme. So that seems to be like a life jacket. And he's just wearing well, he's a guy just wearing like a Speedo, like a trunks. Quite nice. I like the details. You get some blue eyes there, and got the nice bright red for the hair. Now there's a port here, and that's interchangeable with other Polynians. You can swap out their hair pieces and accessories. You get a couple of ports on the back. Yeah, quite nice. And you got the sole here. Now this is actually detachable. Let's see if I can demonstrate that. There's actually a plastic that they've put on the between the feet and here, just to prevent it from scraping. But there is another peg there, and you can take out this and probably use it on other Polynians. That's one of the cool things I like about this figure line, is interchangeability. Alright, so going over articulation, you got a lot of this ball joint hinge sockets, or hinge ball joints. They're in a straight peg system. Get the neck here, you can rotate it. Really good articulation there. Same thing with the arms. There we go. Get your elbow, you got your wrist joint, and I just tend to pop that out. Then you have your torso here. It's actually on again a peg system, easy to swap out, and we'll do that in later on when we want to change this, or change Rucio to a girl. What's the female version of name of Rucio? Or I guess we'll call you Rucio. We got some articulation there, and you just got to be mindful where you rotate it. There we go. Because otherwise, yeah, you just be careful as you rotate that ball joint there. Same thing with the knee here. just a certain angle. There we go. And I like how they're sculpted in an angle. So they're kind of anatomically correct. I think that's the term for that. Then you get your ankle articulation here. Likewise, you can move that around. There's no toe articulation or any of that sort. I don't think they're needed. So they're great. Yeah. Oops. Now I do have a tendency to pop that off, and I think the easiest quick fix if it's too loose is add a stick of a little bit of paper towel or paper to kind of give it friction. Some people use or actually even myself use the clear floor polish technique where you put a coat, let it dry completely, and then it gives friction. But you know, it's up to you. All right, but for now we'll just leave it there like that. All right, and let's see here. Let's go ahead and swap it out, because more than likely I'm gonna keep Rucio on the Fimo form. All right, so let's first swap out the head here. And while we're actually, before we do that, sorry, there's just so many things to do. There are different faces that you can swap it with. You get the smiling face there, then you get the happy with the mouth open, and you just one that's just really happy with the eyes closed. So a lot of interchangeability. Now let's swap out the head here. So you remove the front hair or the bangs, pop that out. You can change out the face, but I like to keep that one right there. And we're just gonna swap this one here. There we go. It's kinda, now she looks like a short-haired girl. But I mean, I guess you can still keep this one if you want that spiky top here. Yeah. Now, in the back of the box, there is a section there where you put this on, and this thing, there's no peg on it. So this is something that you have to put on carefully. There's a lot of ways to do that, but for me, I will use blue tack. I always have a chunk of this in my desk, and I will just grab a really small piece, since you could always take that out. Alright, so I'm just gonna put it right there. I think that's good enough. And we're gonna, oops, it just rolled over my fingers. There. Alright, and that should hold in place. I mean, you can kind of see the blue tag, but I think it's a fair trade-off. Not too bad. Now I'm just curious why they didn't put a peg, and my guess is not often people want to put that clip on, although I think it's nice. So instead of having that peg hole in there, you know, give it up. Alright, moving on. Let's replace the torso here. So before you do that, just make sure you don't put pressure on this one, on the tag, because even though it's a little flexible, you might end up moving that out. I'm not sure if you can take this out, to be honest. That might be glued in place. So take this out, pop the joints. Now for this one, the longer peg goes onto the leg, and the shorter one goes to the torso. This one though is the opposite. The longer peg goes to the torso, and the shorter peg goes up to the abdomen, or the upper part. And this is the Fable version. Basically, you don't get the bump anymore. That's the big difference. Alright, so we're just gonna swap that out. And the leg joint is bigger than the torso. There we go. Just push that in. Now this is going to be a tight fit, since every time you have peg joints, or sorry, peg sockets, and they don't have anything on them. So there's a lot of, when this gets delivered, you get the heat, the pressure, and all that stuff. Sometimes they shrink. So just be careful as you put it on the first time. Alright, and there we go. Alright, we're almost there. Now the last part is for her chest. There's this little piece here that kind of covers and emulates a two-piece suit. Now, like I mentioned, I cannot remove this top part here. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, and you just kind of slide that in there. It's more of a friction. It will hold till that happens. So again, let's see here. Let me grab some blue tack. Just gonna need a little piece of that, and we'll put it on the right there. You just need a little piece. There we go. And blue tack is just a reusable putty. You can get it at office supply stores or even the crafts. It's a very helpful tool to have. All right. Hopefully it will stay. Yeah, that's one of my concerns. If I have this on display and that thing popped off and you lose it, like, oh, where did that piece go? There are times where I spend like the whole day just trying look for a small piece. More than often I find it, but there are times like I just can't. Alright, so we have, I think we'll just call her Lucia. Lucy now, I guess. Rucio. But yeah, quite nice. There's more accessories, and now let's go over that. Alright, next up, we have a variety of hands. We have the relaxed hands here, or to wave. Then you have a section, or hands here to hold the weapons, or the little pistols. And then there's this also kind of like a different pose for the closed fist. I think it's more of the feminine kind of deal, where you get it's like this. Yeah, there's gestures that can be used with that. Right now, let's pop this off. Let's put this on, and yeah. Again, be careful as you push that in. There we go. And let's see, there's a lot of accessories here. Now you have these canisters here, and I think this is for the cannon. I could be wrong, but it goes underneath here. Let's do the same thing on the other side. I can't remember if Mel has this option. Yeah, I don't think she has. There we go. I guess it's time now to swap out the hands here. Oops. You also have this. I'm not quite sure what these are for, but again, Mel has this one. I think it's to slide in water or some sort. It's pegged in place, but sometimes it's just really hard to get that in there. Oops. You actually kind of need that because, I mean, that's not flat, but I guess that little peg there kind of helps level it out. If you just have him or her on, just trying to get this. Yeah, him or her on the floor, on the ground or something. All right, so that's good. We're just gonna pop this out here, and let's see. So we got the pistols here. Interesting weaponry. Now there are peg connections here, and again, you can probably put this onto the side, or I don't know, connect them or some sort. But whoops, they're quite cool. And let's see here. I kind of want to put this onto the hand first before we put on to the figure. Alright, let's see. Oh, I'm not a fan of that. Every time I try to push something and I hear that, it's hopefully it doesn't break. The problem with this one though is it's really thin, and normally I would probably drill this out to make it bigger, but you have a trade-off because you don't want it to be loose. I'll stop there. And taking it out, I just gotta be really careful. Alright, so oh, this one has a fixed joint. Interesting. Which might be a good thing. Not that the weapon is heavy, but if you have Rucio hold something that's heavy, you definitely want the fixed wrist joint. There we go. That's great. Alright, so let's reattach this one here. Whoops. Doesn't really want to stay. Huh. You know, kind of makes you wonder why not just have the peg onto the side of the foot, but I guess aesthetically it doesn't look good if you do that. There's a lot of ways to do things. Alright, well, that works. Next part is this, like, I forgot what they call this. In swimming, it's like a kickboard. You use this while you're kicking in the water, like a paddle. So there is handles here and pegs. I'm just gonna follow what I did with Mel here. Bring my Mel back onto the Mel has it going up like this. So I'm just gonna follow the same way. Have this connected here, like a extra cannon or some sort. There we go. And I think I put this the wrong way. There we go. And we're just gonna peg this on the back here. Oops. We're almost there. Alright. I wonder if you can actually put this on the head. And to summarize this review, pretty much, this is a really nice Polynian figure. I really like it that you can change now from male or female. It's up to your preference. And it's all in the same box, because I really thought that you need to have this like a accessory that you need to buy separately, and this is for a male. And it turns out you cannot even use this one because it's a different shape for the lower torso. So quite happy to include that. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the review. Again, I got mine from Amiami, and I will still continue to collect Polynians. They're really cool. And this is probably the second to Figma that I would say the quality. I mean, overall, I'm really happy for the line. And I've been collecting some odds odd figure lines out there, not the mainstream ones. And definitely this is a really nice find that I come across. And there you have it. If you got questions, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.